And my arbitrations are the most difficult arbitrations in the world because according to every insurance company, nobody has TMJ, nobody has toxicology. And because of Anthony Blair, I'm here tonight could afford to hopefully contribute to the seminar. And thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, Dr. Cranio. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I just made a few notes I wanted to highlight. We have different groups of people here tonight. We have MDs, we have chiros, we have attorneys. So I'm just going to kind of, the purpose of tonight was to kind of get everybody to mingle together and network together. As far as the personal injury attorneys that are here tonight, I want to be clear that I don't do any personal injury work. I only do arbitration work. And my relationship is such with the personal injury attorneys that many of the personal injury attorneys I work with just don't want to do the PIP. They don't want to deal with the PIP. The bills are too much to deal with. And very often what happens is they don't understand how to get their patients paid. And the result of that is that very often the patients are paying out of their pocket, and that comes to the personal injury attorneys towards the personal injury settlement as well as the patient settlement. So I have doctors here tonight that we've invited that are clients of mine, some aren't clients of mine, but the doctors that are here tonight, they know how to document their files. They know what needs to be done to see that the patient's bills get paid. And more importantly, from the personal injury standpoint, if the doctor's bills get paid and the treatment's deemed reasonable and necessary, then you're going to be successful in your settlement. But the important thing is that the settlement's not come out of the patient's pocket. And in order to do that, we need proper documentation, which I'll talk about in a minute. But one of the other things that I can help the personal injury attorneys here tonight with is very often the insurance companies don't certify the treatment that is needed in order to get your client treated. Well, most of my clients that are here tonight and other clients, what they'll do is, even though the insurance company may not have approved pre-certification for that treatment, my clients know that I'm going to be able to get them paid in arbitration. So despite the fact that the insurance companies are not saying okay to the work that the patient may need, I'm asking you to please go ahead, have that work done with one of the doctors that may be here tonight or one of the doctors I work with. We can call my office and we can always find a doctor that'll do any procedure that's necessary that's not necessarily certified by the insurance company. That's really the key for you guys tonight, is know that there's a network of doctors here that know the insurance companies just don't want to pay, period. And as a result, we can get your patients treated and get them what they need as a result. As far as some of the doctors that are here tonight, documentation is what wins cases. And by documentation, for the orthos that are here, for the neuros that are here, for the chiros that are here, the most important thing that you can remember from tonight is that it's not just the reevaluations from a day-to-day basis. It's the reevaluations that document the comorbidities from the patient, and it's not just listing them. The important thing to take away from tonight is listing the comorbidities with that, or the extenuating circumstances from each of your patients, and how it relates to the treatment. Why that patient's treatment and healing process has slowed down as a result of those extenuating circumstances. If you put those in kind of stuff in your report, I'll get you paid every time. The insurance companies can't win on medical necessity. The only time they win is on the technical aspects of the appeals not being right or the pre-cert process not being done properly. And my office is also prepared to either come to your office and train your staff on the appeals process or even the pre-cert process if you need it, or we'll even do some of the post-service appeals for you. So we offer that service to you as well. My wife Lori's here tonight. She has a medical billing company. There's also those doctors that just don't want to deal with the PIP aspect of billing. They'll want to do the major medical, it's easier, they know how to deal with it, but they don't want to deal with the PIP aspect of it. So we offer a number of services to you related to the PIP if you don't want to deal with it. As far as the chiros that are here tonight, there are a lot of orthos and neuros here that I encourage you to speak with, because from a documentation standpoint, there's nothing better than a ortho or a neuro seeing one of your patients right around the same time of an IME. If your patient is seen around by an ortho or neuro at the time of an IME, and that IME doctor obviously is going to cut the patient off and find the treatment's not necessary. But when you have an opinion from an ortho or neuro, one of those doctors, around the same time as that IME, and the findings are so inconsistent than that of the treating doctors, you're going to win that every time. So I encourage the chiros here tonight, make a relationship with, if you haven't made one with an ortho or neuro, establish a relationship with that, because when those reports exist in the file, I can get you paid all the time. Two other brief points is I'm an attorney that does plegal work. A lot of PIP attorneys won't do plegal work. There are recently a couple changes in the plegal rules. One particularly, the phone numbers have been changing drastically. That's a game that the insurance companies play with. They're constantly changing phone numbers. But more importantly, and I encourage you to please, somebody from your office or your office staff call me, because what they're doing right now is they're sending out denials that are not medically based. They are denying based on administrative reasons that are just a bunch of nonsense, and most doctors haven't seen those denials yet. So I encourage you just to call my office. I'll speak to your staff, I'll speak to you, and explain to you what those kind of denials are and how we can deal with them. And finally, I just want to mention the healthcare primary rules have changed drastically as well lately. I encourage you to call me, because efficient processing of those healthcare primary bills is important, because what's happening right now is a lot of those healthcare primary bills, healthcare primary policies are 15K policies, and they get exhausted quickly. By the time you get your bill to the PIP carrier after getting spun around numerous times by the healthcare primary carrier, then your policy's gone. So I can work with your staff, I can work with you to make sure that you do everything that you can to process those things properly. The healthcare bill, your staff needs to be able to identify the healthcare EOBs too. Are they administrative denials, which really aren't real denials, or are they medical necessity denials, which could be real denials? So I want to thank you all for coming, and thank you for your time. The one thing I'm going to ask you all to do tonight is a little bit different. If you wouldn't mind tonight, everybody, a lot of the people in the room kind of know each other and are familiar with each other, but I would just ask you to do me a favor and do something a little different tonight. If everybody would just speak to one person in the room tonight that you're not used to speaking to, I think it would be great from a networking standpoint. Take you a little out of your comfort zone a little bit. But I think it might go a long way. You never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to shake hands with, whose card you're going to get. I've met a lot of doctors and lawyers that way. So just tonight while you're here, eating and drinking, having a good time, just shake the hand, exchange cards with somebody you may not know. So thank you very much.